Hello everyone, I'm Akwaowo Essien, a proud alumnus of Madonna University, Economics Department, class of 2008. I am an economic and financial analyst. I'm also an academic. I've been asked to give a brief analysis on Nigeria's debt profile, the problems and solutions. Let me preface by saying that the quantum of Nigeria's total debt and its debt service burden has been a subject of major controversy. Just to put things in perspective, as at March 31st this year, Nigeria's public debt stock stood at about 33 trillion naira. Now that's about $87 billion. We would recall that the government recently raised its borrowing limits from 25% of GDP to 40% of GDP. And as a follow-up to that, the Senate just approved a $6.1 billion loan request by the President. So there are real concerns about our debt sustainability, and some even think that we might be running into some sort of a debt crisis or a debt trap. It's important to state that the total debt itself is not a problem, but the debt service as a percentage of revenue has already reached 94%. Now that's a problem. If you took debt service, you took salaries, and then overheads, then it comes up to about 140%, signaling that we have an expense management problem. All of these could lead us into a major liquidity problem and subsequently downgrade Nigeria's sovereign debt ratings. Our instruments could become discounted, basically becoming junks. Now that means that if it gets to that level, no one would be interested in our stocks, in our bonds, etc. The other problem is with our rates of borrowing. Before this administration took over in 2015, our total debt was somewhere around 11 trillion naira. Now, 6 years on, we have accumulated 3 times that amount. Our total debt is about 33 trillion naira. And we must also be mindful that we are borrowing to meet consumption and recurrent expenditure. That is very worrying. Now, the analysis that I've just given is very grim. So what must we do to reverse this trend? Simply put, we need to be governed better. Borrowing itself is not bad. It is a macroeconomic tool, especially in the wake of COVID-19. It is the management of our resources that is bad. We need to borrow to grow our revenue. Take, for instance, this year, we are running a budget of about 13 trillion naira, and our actual revenue has never really exceeded 5 trillion naira. This means that we are having an actual deficit budget of about 8 trillion naira. That is a problem indeed. We need to scale down our size of government, as there is a lot of waste associated with the current system. We need to deploy our resources much more efficiently. We need to embark on fiscal discipline, responsibility, and restructuring. If we must borrow, the borrowing should go into financing infrastructural development and boosting human capital. We must improve our power sector, as we are currently supplying less than 4,000 megawatts for about a country of 180 million people. Our health sector has to improve as well to stop people from embarking on medical tourism. We know that as we speak, the president of the country has embarked on medical tourism to the United Kingdom. Education has to be worked on. We have to invest more in education to attract foreign students. We also have to invest in agriculture to promote food sustainability and tackle the security sector to ensure foreign investment and promote tourism. We hope that the government will do the needful and that we, the citizens, will do our bit to help vote our brightest minds into power when the time comes. Thank you, everyone, for your time.